After a successful governorship election in Ekiti that was followed by a more successful one in Osun State in July, the Independent National Electoral Commission has gathered its top officials and development partners and other critical parties here to appraise the off-cycle exercises.
The two elections were indeed a litmus test for the Commission, as they were conducted using the new 2022 Electoral Act and 2022 Guidelines and Regulations for Conduct of Elections, among others.
While the Commission is celebrating its performance in both Ekiti and Osun, it is not unaware that the two elections constitute only a fraction of the huge logistics that we will have to manage from now on, preparatory to the 2023 general elections.
Managing the forthcoming general election is huge. The voter population, the number of polling units, election personnel, security considerations, logistics, and so on are simply enormous.
Inec only at the end of July completed the continuous voter registration, which has enlarged the size of the country's voter register. It is now in the process of cleaning up the document, deploying the automated biometric identification system, and has delisted at least 1.1 million newly registered voters for invalid registration. The Inec boss explains that and other issues to journalists on the sideline of the retreat.
So what we have done for the first 2 quarters of the last CVR, for the period covering the 26th of June 2021 and the end of the year, December 2021, we subjected the data to the automated biometric identification system, the ABIS, using both the fingerprint and the facial. And we weeded out over 1 million people who were not supposed to register, but they registered. We are right now doing the same thing, covering the period January to the end of July 2022, when we suspended the current CVR exercise, or the last CVR exercise. Therefore, this is going to continue.
Professor Yakubu is not done explaining. Here is his opinion on why not many electoral offenders, especially vote buyers, have been prosecuted by the Commission.
The person who falsifies election results, the person who buys votes at the polling units, is unlikely to be a candidate in the election. So as long as we don't get to the sponsors, this shenanigans is going to continue. And the best antidote to that is the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal.
With less than 6 months to the general elections, Inec says it is gradually fulfilling all the requirements of its action plan to deliver what could be the best election in the history of Nigeria so far. But it is also aware that achieving that feat requires continuous discussions between its members of staff, partners, and other critical parties in the electoral process. Tokumbo Oyetunji, Arise News, Lagos.